Good morning, get up. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. We're here and we're live and we're ready for the Sorare deadline show. We've got an international special, and I'm joined as ever by my co-pilot Harry Trades, as long as I can get all the screens and everything back sorted after the intro there. And we've got our co-pilot here, and he is now covered in pristine Sorare glory, having taken on the Super Rare Challenger division and absolutely nailed it, coming in first prize last weekend. Absolutely cleaning up, Harry boy. And I wanted to give you a big kind of welcome into the stream today with this. And I went to go and try and get some assistance for this, but I realised the system already has it. So everyone in the live chat, get the applause out, get the party emojis, get the trophies.
That's class.
Well done, Harry.
That's amazing. Thank you, mate. Sounds a bit dodgy, the kids. There we go.
Love it, mate. GG's, well done.
Thank you, mate. I appreciate the little intro. We haven't really spoken, have we, on stream or anything since it. So, it's been class, to be fair. But like we were mentioning, I know it sounds crazy, but we kind of knew what was happening in the reward video. Whereas if it was like a star super rare or something, there's obviously that unknown factor, which is the equivalent maybe. But yeah, I'm probably still taking the cash, not from an excitement standpoint, but from a help my gallery standpoint all day long,
Yeah, and you wasted no time at all, mate. I was jaw on the floor when my Twitter timeline refreshed not long afterwards, bringing in a wee JK, a wee Joshua Kimmich.
Yeah, I mean, not the only reason, but one of the biggest reasons. I was on stream yesterday and I explained it. I cut it up into a little video earlier, which I uploaded. But yeah, just basically explaining that I just needed in my opinion, a really good in-season defender, which would allow me to have that, that classic Kimmich, basically, you'll fit a card like him into a in-season lineup. Just sort of elevate me a little bit more in D1 and just put me in and amongst it a little bit more, because I just think if I can afford to do that now, I'm obviously going to benefit, try and do that. I don't think I should hamstring myself in any way in the competitions I want to focus on. So I there's no better midfielder for me in Champ right now than a Kimmich in where he's at with company and whatever. And you obviously pay a premium for it, but if I can afford to do that for now, I'm going to have to take advantage of it.
Yeah, huge get, mate. Absolutely buzzing for you. And it's just such times have changed for Harry boy, coming into the Kimmich club, And I was also really pleased to see as well on your stream, I was watching when you were going through some of this in the videos as well, is you've also got yourself a wee Leon Goretzka, which is nice to see.
Well, collection pieces these days are, not that expensive. So yeah, little Leon, maybe a little stint in MLS or something at some point. You never know.
Behave.
I mean, you can't get a game in Europe, so
behave. Just need to be Savica and actually sorted.
Yeah, I saw it. To be fair, there is one from that collection for 16 quid. So yeah, I am tempted.
But yeah, fist bumps to everyone on arrival. We're getting tons of emojis for the trophies. Well done again, Harry. Flooding in. And thanks everyone for joining us. Let us know if you did have any international midweek joy. I'm coming out with a box from a 4-man team, Harry. Would you believe it?
Okay.
How did you get on in the midweek?
So I finished 31st, which is a bit of cash, but it's not where I wanted it to be because Rodrigo unfortunately blanked last night for Brazil. So I finished 31st, which a DA from Rodrigo would have put me top 10, but I kind of did a bit of shopping. I brought in a couple of international boys, and some of them paid off. This guy came off injured just before the clean sheet would have been added, so that was a bit of a killer. And I had Lewis Miller, the scored in my other lineup, but Nakamura came off the bench, so that one didn't really work out. But Miller for this guy, Missalou, and we'd be looking a bit prettier, but we'll take it. I kind of recoup what I've kind of paid for a couple of these 30-odd quid, so. Rinse and repeat for this weekend.
Love it, mate. Love it. This is my little 4-man effort that managed to crawl over the line. Kamada and Dyson. But look at Nkunku and Scales rocking in the goals. Can't believe Nkunku started. Top 9% for DNP, Tanny.
I mean, we'll take that. Was that All-Star? Yeah, All-Star. Why did you go? Why did you go All-Star over the international comp?
I don't know. It was my last team. I don't know.
Fair enough.
I think I just felt like it, just
Yeah,
to
yeah.
mix it up a bit.
I mean, that's just typical, right? Your last lineup is the one that pops off. Like, that's just how this game seems to work a lot of the times, right?
Yeah, big time. But we have another international weekend. We also have some MLS action, and I'm sure some other bits and pieces around. And good luck to anyone this weekend. Obviously, it's getting stuck in with us today, as well as let us know if you did anything in the midweek itself. Because this international break's been. It feels like I've got more teams. It feels like I've got more cards all of a sudden, and it feels like there's more interesting stuff going on across the place. So it's probably about time, Harry. We just have a look at the yield matchups tab, and nice kind of mixture of club and country here.
100%. Yeah. I just think from like a Sorare like gameplay perspective, them doing in-season comps, I know it's still 4-on-1, so like it is still quite restrictive, but like they have made international comps as exciting as they can be. Like they're not exciting, but giving somebody or us, a bit of cash to maybe chase if you've got in-season cards. Definitely like if they didn't exist, yeah, this would be like a really tough 3 game weeks, I think, for a lot of us. So yeah, not to like sort of talk down upon the classic comps, because there is still other things going on, but just having both is just a nice mix. And lots of double game weeks, like Ricky says there. I was just going to mention loads of double game weeks. Turkey flying high there. Germany the same. I think Sweden have a double game week. Wales, Spain don't. Croatia don't. Portugal don't. The Czechs might have. Netherlands definitely do. And then, like you mentioned, there is things outside of the international stuff. You've got La Liga 2 that just don't stop for anything, which is amazing. 2 MLS games, 4 clubs playing. A bit of Colombia, I think. I think this Atletico Nacional maybe is Colombian. I'm not necessarily sure, but we got a bit of Chile as well. So yeah, there is things outside of internationals, but yeah, and a bit of Argentina, a little good old cruise. But yeah, lots going on, and there's quite a few places to play these cards. Like we've got All Star, you've got the international comps. Contender might be open, and I think it is, right?
Nah, I'm just checked. I was just thinking that there. I wonder if the region is there, because I hadn't seen it myself.
I got that wrong. It's next this midweek coming up. Sorry, Contender is open, I think.
Yeah.
I might look forward too much there, but yeah, some exciting matchups to get sort of stuck into. The double game weeks do throw spanners in the works. Like, don't expect every player to play 90 minutes in both. We saw that, in the previous Nations League games, like a lot of nations will rotate. I know Germany are rotating their keepers this time around with Neuer not playing. So, yeah, keep an eye on all that. But, yeah, no, there's a few decent matchups, like nothing above 80%, which is quite... I know we might not have odds for everything. Let's have a look. We have odds for quite a few.
It's like the second half of the double game week, isn't it? It's just not quite into scope yet.
Well, like South Korea won game, but they don't have odds. Yeah, like that's what a lot of these. A lot of these are single. You're right, though. This Bosnia one is a double. Turkey double. Indonesia 1. Georgia definitely have a double game week as well. I think Gibraltar had a good win yesterday, by the way. Did you see that? They beat San Marino.
Oh, I didn't see that, but I was going to say that's who did you say there was? It Singapore? Who is it? Or not Indonesia? Is it China they're playing? Yeah,
but China are not great.
Aye, but it's Wooly, isn't it, against Indonesia?
Nah, he's injured. He's not playing.
Oh, is he? Okay,
yeah. Good. Like, look at Indonesian's team. Pice, Jordi Amat, Hilgers, Verdonk, Sandy Walsh, Tom Hay. Like, they've basically got a Belgium-Dutch team.
So they do.
Like, yeah, they've
other Reinders as well.
Yeah, baby Reinders. Like, they've got some players, because obviously a lot of the Dutch is, from Indonesian descent and stuff, and a lot of them have just got their passports basically literally this last couple of months. I know.
That's cool. I didn't realize Hilger's done it. I knew that he was like a Southeast Asian, I've seen those guys love him on Twitter,
yeah. Mate, their interactions is nuts. Like Pice is like blowing up and stuff. He's like an MLS keeper. But yeah, China just got beat 3-1 against. Would have been South.
I was actually wearing the Indonesian national top the other day.
No way.
Yeah.
What?
I've got it.
You've got to show us that. You've got to show us that.
Okay, I'll go get it. I've probably seen it before.
Have I seen that before? I don't know.
I worked in Indonesia for a month. It's a funny story.
Oh, wow.
I've only told a few times
Yeah.
because it's not totally, let's just say, kosher. But yeah, there we go.
You have shown me, I think. Yeah, that's amazing. That's such a sick jersey.
Yeah. Used to be my Twitter profile pic, and I had Kutang on the back of it, but it's came off in the wash, so I can't really wear it outside because it just looks, looks scabby. It's an
That's
inside only
hilarious.
t-shirt. But anyway,
Or just wear a coat behind you and just open it up.
there is that. I think on that note, we'll probably slide over to some predicted lineups. And so we had Sweden up top there, which did surprise me, but Estonia are like a firm, like, bottom category. There's no predicted lineup for it. Sweden's lineup, we've got a Slovakia one here.
Yeah, that's the first game week, so I like the first game, sorry.
Oh, so Bergval's in the building. That's interesting.
Yeah, they've got quite a few injuries they're having to deal with, so it seems like it's not obvious who they're going to play, but like more obvious than it would be. No Isak is a big miss, so one of those front three wouldn't be playing basically. Probably Elanga. Yeah, so still a good game though. I think away from home, not terrible.
Isaac Hine, Lindelof, Kraft. No, Starfelt gets such a rough time at it, doesn't he? Just never gets into teams.
He's been playing though, hasn't he? For Celtic or no? Yeah.
Aye, he's been rinsing it. We've then got Germany, Bosnia, which again, people are talking about the rotations. We've got Tim Kleidenheist starting an attack for this one, projected alongside Dennis Undav. So quite a change to what we've seen from Germany, alongside the likes of Andrik and Gross. Like, all these guys are kind of fine, right? But this isn't Muller, Kroos, Götze, Khedira, kind of guys, level where it's just weird, isn't it, seeing a Germany team like this? Like, it's, different times. Obviously, Kimmich is still there, but at a right back, your boy now, obviously, on the same side of the pitch as my boy works. Yeah. There we go.
Hopefully, little double DA for us. That'll be nice.
That would be good. Gnabry's back in the building. I'm sure they'll do great, but it's not vintage, No,
it's definitely not. No Musiala as well, which I mentioned to you before we went live. So, like, they're missing their sort of star boy in that sense. They've got another one in Wirtz, but yeah, it's definitely not. It's definitely not vintage Germany, is it, in any way?
No. And this Bosnia team, by the way, Demirovic and Dzeko up front, like, if they can keep the scoreline tight, they'll fancy themselves in this one. Like,
no mugs at all.
Yeah, a fair few Bundesliga players here, never mind guys just scattered around Europe in general. Obviously, Kolasinac, everyone knows at this stage, and one or two others off the bench. So yeah, it's maybe not going to be, when you see that lineup, like, Germany should win this, but is it maybe like a 2-1, 3-0? Maybe something like that. It's not going to be like,
I think they concede. I'd be shocked if they keep a clean sheet away to Bosnia. Not shocked, but like I think there's a goal in there for Bosnia. But they have the double game week luxury, Germany. So yeah, it's obviously big for them.
And we've got Turkey's lineup updated 0 minutes ago. So this is hot off the guys. Now, I was doing my Zero to Hero recording earlier on, Harry, and I was mad tempted to put Arda Güler in the team.
You've got to have a new double game week. It's a perfect opportunity.
Home in Montenegro. He's just going to have that Real Madrid Stardust coming into camp, isn't he? He's just going to be 100%. like, boys, get me the ball. You could
just see it. Yeah, even in the Euros, like, he was literally just running the show. Like, he was orchestrating everything, even from like a talking standpoint. Like, you could tell body language wise, like, they're just looking for him all the time now because they just know. They've known for a while, but like now they know, but like he's the dog. So yeah, my boy Yunus on the right wing there. I was patient with this Super over the last couple of months, and he somehow found himself, back in the Galatasaray side, and potentially starting this international break again, double game week for them. I think their second fixture is pretty good as well. I think it's at home as well to somebody, maybe Iceland. Yeah. So like, yeah, Turkey stacks definitely could be a problem. The goalkeeper's a bit of an issue. Like, I've seen some people say it might be 1-on-1 as far as like somebody else getting one of the games or whatever. So that's the only worry, which is obviously a big worry if you're stacking. But yeah, no, they've got some really nice game weeks or matchups coming up.
If you've got a double game week, you're maybe a wee bit immune from that a little bit. If they're definitely getting one, to keep it at least in, as long as you don't get absolutely shafted on the game. You know, like they lose 4-0 or something, and whatever. It might not be. That's kind of the insurance you're after. This is the Finland team that are set up to take on England. So there's a few cards here. There's a few. I heard you giving this guy's name a shot the other day as well.
I did it okay, didn't I?
Yeah, I think you nailed it.
Pojampalo maybe, or something like that. Poyampalo. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I say. It looks complicated, but when you look at it to read it,
yeah, if you break it down, like it's not terrible, but
there's enough vowels in there, you know.
yeah. It's not too much for my brain to compute. But yeah, Topi, I think he started yesterday, or the day before, whatever. So yeah, that'll be. Yeah, but that Joel just scores every game, doesn't he? Don't be surprised if he scores against England.
Laird's a big fan of the Indonesia top.
Beautiful.
Fist bump to everyone on arrival. And yeah, they're taking on an England side who have lost for the first time ever, I think it may have been, to Greece. First time Greece have won in England, at least anyway. And they're on the ropes, perhaps. I was actually, when you see the England starting lineup that they put out, you're like, wow, man, that is somebody that knows ball. He's trying to get them all on the pitch there. You know, Foden, Palmer, Bellingham.
Just all the team, wasn't it? Like,
yeah, total. Yeah. So, we might got this from a neutral perspective. It never worked because imagine you could get that to click. Like,
I know. I mean, yeah, I don't think we can. Yeah, obviously it didn't work, but like surely it probably does at some point. You'd like to think, but yeah, bits of rotation in. I'm seeing here. Gordon probably gets the nod left wing. Jude maybe stays. Angel Gomez, I don't think started yesterday. So,
yep.
Yeah, bits of rotation. Palmer obviously played. I think Saka's injured.
Yeah,
I think he went off injured, so that's obviously a concern.
Stones didn't play.
Yeah, Stone's got a last man tackle added as well yesterday, so he ended up scoring really well, I think. But yeah, Gahey comes in. I guess Colwell goes left back. Interesting. I don't know if
it's kind of free the back of football, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it's like the Guardiola role, isn't it? Very similar profiles, him and Colwell, like when they play that position. Yeah, no, it's a good team, but like for whatever reason, Carsley ball isn't working right now.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes for them. We'll go to MLS when we go to it, but the next one there was Spain, I think it looks like. Spain-Denmark. I'm also a wee bit biased, I've got the Schmeichel now, but when I looked at this game on the game week tab, I just thought this looks like a draw. Like Spain-Denmark is like internationals go, you know. Oh, Oyarzabal's favoured to start. Fucking let's go. Do you know, I was mentioning this on my stream or on a stream the other day, but like Oyarzabal scores the winning goal in the Euros, has not done anything since.
Literally. Like not scored a goal, right?
Got an assist last weekend. That's his first decisive since the Euros final. It's been absolute torture for me.
So mad, isn't it?
Yeah. Zubimendi's on to start. That's good for me as well. Nice to see Pedro Porro getting some caps finally.
Yeah, I saw there was like Real Madrid interest or something, and he was like, yeah, it's obviously great that Real Madrid interested or whatever. I saw that as an interview maybe, or maybe it was just fabricated, but yeah, I think he'll do well. Pedro Porro.
Finally binned Jesus Navas, and obviously Carvajal's injured. So, yeah, good to see Pedro getting some international utility. Raya's in goals, Morata up top, Pedri in the hole. And then the Denmark team is pretty Danish, isn't it? Oh, no Jokey Anderson. Gutted for that for me. But yeah, otherwise pretty Danish from front to back there.
Yeah, pretty standard. 3 at the back, 5 at the back. Eriksson sort of floating. Yeah, don't mind it. Decent team. They'll cause Spain a few problems.
Yeah, it feels like 1-1 to me. Something like that, maybe. Romania, Cyprus. Interesting. I don't know if we have many Romanian cards, do we? I know Romania was a bit of a favourite in the Euros on Rivals. They were quite fun for a lot of people. They've got a few cards, I suppose. We've got 2 defenders, 2 forwards, although I think maybe one of them's a mid. Maybe that Razvan Marin.
Sure. Yeah. I've got that right back, the one that plays for Vallecano in season. Yeah. He actually scores pretty well. Like, he scored 100 in La Liga this year.
He's been tidy.
Yeah, he's not bad. So I'm loading him up. Dragusin, obviously. Yeah, not many cards, though. That Dennis Mann's a good player, but I don't think he has cards either.
Yeah, he's at Parma, isn't he? Then it's your boys, Harry.
Come on, the boys.
But it's against Montenegro. The first game I've got here is Iceland, which I think you said to me was tonight.
That's tonight. Yeah, Montenegro's on Monday.
We
But
do have a Wales team there as well for both matches, so I'll put the Iceland one on first since it's the first game. But yeah, thoughts and feelings?
confident, but Iceland are no mugs. But I still think we got to go and fancy ourselves to beat them tonight. As far as the team goes, though, this is pretty spot on. I think Joe Allen was in the squad, but now has been said that he's not traveling or something. So yeah, it looks like. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Ampadu's out injured, so that's a massive miss for us in midfield.
Joe Allen.
Yeah, Joe Allen's back in the squad. Plays
Joe
for
Allen.
Swansea. Yeah, he's still in the championship. Yeah.
How old is he?
33 or 4. I
Really?
think.
Liverpool Joe Allen. Swansea
Yeah.
Joe Allen.
He is. I don't know exactly. Ooh, it's probably Joseph, isn't it? Joseph. He hasn't really featured for Swansea too much. I'm trying to see their squad. Where's Big Joseph? There he is. Yeah, 34. They've got the wrong picture for him. That is not Joe Allen. So Opta need to sort that one out. I'm pretty sure that's Josh Sheehan, who plays for Bolton, I believe. But, yeah, Joe Allen's back, but apparently he's not back. Like, he was in the squad, he was training, and now it's been him and Owen Beck's gone down to the 21s.
Okay.
So they need to qualify for whatever. But basically, depends what formation we play. Like, it could be a 4. But ultimately, it could also be a 3 or a 5, and Mepham comes in, and we lose out on a midfielder. But yeah, Brennan's in unbelievable form. I'd be very shocked if he doesn't feature in both. Harry Wilson's very much nailed. I think Kiefer Moore definitely starts the first game. A big presence at home, away. Sorry, and then I don't know if David Brooks starts a game because he hasn't really played too much for Brighton. He'll definitely Bournemouth, but he'll definitely feature. But we've lost Ampadu and Ramsey, which is obviously 2 big misses for us. But we've got like Wes Burns back in the squad, who's at Ipswich. Sorba Thomas is playing really well for Nons, but he doesn't have cards, unfortunately, yet. Or maybe he does now, but I don't think he does. I'm confident. I think we're going to get at least 4 points from the 6. Yeah, but obviously away game tonight. So
the Joe Allen controversy.
Joe Allen was at Liverpool when he was like 20, like he was young when Rodgers signed him.
I guess I just always thought he was older than and I think like it was him and Leon Britton, wasn't it? Leon Britton was way older. Is that?
Yeah,
that's maybe
Leon Britton's like 50 now.
Yeah.
But you're right. They were like love. Like he was his love child, wasn't he, for a while at Swansea, and then, but yeah, Charlie asked Darlow. I think Darlow gets the game tonight, and Ward plays at home game. If we're going off what happened last international break, Ward's a bit better with his feet. Darlow looked really good, shot stopping wise, and I think we probably need that away to Iceland more so than Montenegro at home. So, I'm thinking Darlow plays tonight, but it's so hard to predict.
I think I'll just run through the rest of the internationals we've got here. So trying to do them in a wee order is kind of just losing it now. But we just had an update on the Poland-Portugal one here. Poland 42 minutes ago, Portugal an hour ago. So I thought I'd throw this one up. This is the Poland team, which actually looks pretty good for the first time in a little while from front to back. There's actually like decent players everywhere now.
Yeah, they've got good players. Like they've got really good players. Lewandowski's obviously on form, so why can't they go out and score a couple of goals?
Yeah. Zielinski living a kind of Indian summer at Inter Milan, not playing every week, so he should be in good shape. Kiwior not too far off the same. And decent wee outfit. And then it's Portugal. Looks like Ronaldo's going to play this one because he'll fancy getting another goal in this one. Bernie's playing, Vitinha. Yeah, I think again, similar to Denmark, I think this is just a very Portugal team. It just looks like Portugal again, doesn't it? Like it's not really any surprises here. It's all the usual suspects. Leao not starting, maybe a bit of a surprise, but I think those kind of things with Portugal are always dependent on how many centre mids are they going to try and play because they've got thousands of them. So no space for Leao.
That'll be a tough game, that though, for Portugal. Really tough.
Yeah, away as well.
I don't know. Poland. I mean, when we played them when you were in Wales, like they aren't that good, but they've just got so many like good names that like you're always scared, but like they're not actually as good as you maybe think they are as far as like a team goes. So I don't know actually, man. If it was at home for Portugal, I think they'd walk all over them, but away maybe a different story.
Yeah. Ronaldo's going to score a penalty in this one, eh?
100%.
Czech Republic against Albania is on the screen in case any of you madmen are after this one. But you could probably get a bit of a Czech Republic spine out here, actually. This is the Girona defender. Obviously, the guy at Leverkusen. And then, yeah, there's enough guys up here that have got cards and stuff. It's a bit of a fun one on the side. Albania, again, pretty stacked. Sarkosha, Kambula, Hisaj, Ismaili, mad decisive weekend hero, again, popping up. Ramadani, Bajrami, who's at Rangers now. Asani, Hoxa, Aslani. I can't believe this guy's still not got a card. This Aslani's been around for a while.
I know.
But there's a bit of a squad there. Obviously, again, in the Euros, won a few fans, didn't they?
Yeah, that Aslani looked good in the Euros. I think he's playing in like China or something, but...
Oh, is he? I thought he was at Inter.
No, the right winger one. Sorry, like Asani.
Oh, sorry.
He's somewhere in Asia, I think.
So, nice differential one there. And then we've got Holland playing Hungary. And the Holland team looks pretty powerful from front to back. Like, it's hard to not be excited about that if you've got a stack of these guys. Like, Reinders is great for Holland. It was in the Euros anyway. Gravenberch, if he's coming onto this game at Liverpool, wait to see that translate into this team because that was a bit of a problem position for them in the Euros. Was who was next to Reinders?
Yeah, and
Simons is killing it.
Should never have been Joey VM.
Yeah,
but exactly. Yeah, you're right, and they got a double game week as well. So yeah, they're dangerous this international break and this upcoming game week.
Yeah, really solid spine. Lots of defender choices as well. Really, no matter what you're going for. And then you like Gakpo, who always does well for Holland. Yeah. Xerxes, who, I don't know. They don't really have Xerxes was great last year, but Man United's happened to him, so it's just hard. It's just high. But Xavi Simons, obviously, loves playing for Holland, always does well. Slovakia, Sweden. I think we kind of looked at Sweden already, but here's Slovakia. Lobotka, Benes, and Duda. It's a strong midfield three there anyway. Strong defence also.
Yeah, they're no mugs either, to be fair.
Yeah, Rodak and goals. Sweden team once more in case you missed it. Turkey, I think we looked at them already, Barda Guller. Yes, we did. Ukraine playing Georgia. These are two like differential Sorare stack nations, aren't they? You know, Georgia and Ukraine for different reasons. But this is the Ukraine team, pretty star-studded. No Saganikov. Otherwise, but I don't think there's anyone missing. Got a bit of competition at left back, but I don't think there's any like recognizable name missing from this that you would expect to see.
No, yeah, you're right. Pretty full strength, barring Saganikov, but double game week as well for both of these. So yeah, under 23 will be pretty, and obviously we mentioned Bart as well with the Netherlands if he gets both games. Lots of high scoring goalkeeper scores, I think, over this game week.
Kosovo. Now, I've seen somebody mention, I meant to mention this earlier, right? But see if you've got a guy playing international football that's not showing up in lineup builder, just flip on the no game week tab and you will see them. And as long as it's got up to coverage, you'll be fine to select them, you know, if there is any thing there. I had it in the last game week where really he wasn't showing up for some reason. I had to flip the show no game. And then when I flipped it and it showed up, it showed Argentina versus Venezuela underneath his name. Like it knew he was playing, but it was weird how they just buried him. So if you're having any wee glitches like that, that's a wee hack, a wee solution that I found to work well. This is the Georgia team. Mamadashvili, Chakvatadze, Kaitashvili, Kvaratskhelia, Mikatuadze. It's a wee spine, wee stack in the go here as well. And Ukraine, Georgia. It's a fight, isn't it?
Yeah, it's either like 0-0 or 2-2 that one for me.
Oh, really? So it doesn't even come up at all?
That's the issue with the international comp is like you can't put anyone in there you want, if that makes sense. Like you could in All-Star, but because it's international only, they won't allow anything to kind of go in there, even if you had a 4-man stack and the goalie was like not an international player, you obviously can't play him in there. So that's the big issue.
Understood. That's a bike. Hopefully they fix that. Maybe just need to play him in U23. But Bulgaria, this is their team. Krastev is in the hole here. We've got Mitov in goals, so a wee bit of utility for some of those cards floating around. They're playing Luxembourg. Sadly, no Luxembourg team. It'd been interesting to see if Chenot's meant to be playing. But then we've got Croatia playing Scotland, and the Croatia team looks as formidable as ever. Luka Modric is still in the team. Sucic has moved to La Liga and really went up a gear, went up a level. Matanovic is coming in. He's the kind of the third wheel in Frankfurt between like Ekatike and Marmoush, and these are guys that are rotating around those forward positions. And the rest of the team, you know, most of these guys you'll be familiar with, the better ones anyway. But pretty strong Croatia team, and they're at home.
Just no Kovacic.
Yeah, no Kovacic. That was in the chat earlier. He's injured. He's out. And then this is the Scotland team. They fancy Ralston to start at right back. This defence just looks minging, except for Andy Robertson, obviously. Doak's on to start as well. That would be surprising. No Gold, still on the bench. McTominay, Adams, Christie. Decent team. Just a bit unfamiliar.
Tough away, but I feel like Scotland are probably suited to play away in some ways, like with a team like that.
Yeah, I can see it.
Two Napoli midfielders.
Yeah, two Napoli mids. And a Torino forward. As well as a few other bits and pieces. Yeah, it could be good. I'm not holding my breath. We then get Northern Ireland at home to Belarus. This is the Northern Ireland team again. A fair few cards in this squad. No goalkeeper, but a few guys. Romania, Cyprus, anything here? Oh, we looked at that already, didn't we?
Yeah.
Poland, Portugal, we caught Serbia, Switzerland. Again, a lot of cards involved in this one. Rakovic coming back from Saudi Arabia to still be the number one keeper is surprising. Milinkovic, who has won a lot of fans over in the Premier League over the last couple of games, alongside Pavlovic. Grujic gets back in the squad. No Zivkovic, no Milinkovic-Savic is interesting to see for this squad. Jovic and Mitrovic up front.
It's just an aging team, isn't it, Serbia? Apart from like Pavlovic.
Yeah.
They need some new blood, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And Costa, he's a wee bit of an up-and-comer. He plays at Aston Villa. Fancy him. Fancy him to start. But look at Jovic has been around the block one too many times, hasn't he? And got nowhere. This is the Switzerland team. Gregor Kobel coming in for the retired Sommer, as we've spoke about before, I think, on this stream. Again, a lot of the Euros heroes are in this squad, really, aren't they? And Ndoye, Fruler, Abasher, Elvedi, Akanji. Obviously, big Granit Xhaka's the star piece of this squad, and Bulo looks to start. It's a fun team.
Yeah, solid. That'll be a tough game.
Yeah,
to predict anyway.
Spain, Denmark. We looked at that. Austria, Norway. So the Austria team, your boy Seawald is going to keep his play. I don't think they're really changing. Their best 11, like Ralph Rangnick has kind of got that ironed in now, hasn't he? And he's just really trying to get the repetition, that synergy, that repetition kind of burning through them.
I just noticed their Pens didn't play in goal yesterday, so I guess it was told that they'd have one each. I don't know, but I'm just assuming going off that. And then Arnautovic didn't start yesterday, but got a DA off the bench. So just top and tail of the team. But the rest looks pretty standard to what happened yesterday.
And they're playing Norway with Sorloth and Haaland up front. It's just an absolute best. Yeah. The rest of the team, but it's not that scary really. And Noosa's good, Ryerson's fine. Everyone loves Chris Ayer, but like it's not that scary a Norway team, is it?
It's just top heavy, isn't it?
Yeah,
really top heavy. I think he became highest goal scorer yesterday. I think Haaland for Norway.
Oh, nice, well done. Overtaking John Carew or something, probably.
Probably, yeah. It can't be many goals. I did see though Odegaard's injury has got worse, so he's expected to it's been prolonged to December. From what I saw. Yeah.
Actually, it was meant to be November, I think, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But then got Greece at home to Ireland. Greece having obviously just beaten England at Wembley. They're now taking the Irish back to Athens. And this team's, again, got some really good SO5 cards in it. Odysseus is the number one goalkeeper here, despite not playing for a club at the moment.
Yeah,
he's on the bench.
Newcastle, does he? Yeah.
Mavropanos, Siopis. I think he's a bit of a favourite, isn't he?
He's at Cardiff.
Is that what it is? I definitely knew his name was on the
Cardiff boy.
Tzolis, Bakasetas, Pavlidis. Pretty decent Ireland
team.
team, sorry. And in Ireland, they're also a lot better now that they're playing scales. Finally, they've came to their senses. But it's not that scary an Ireland team. There's not that much. It's kind of like the Scotland thing we spoke about and with Wales. There's not that much Premier League level guy here, is there?
No, not at all. It's all like fringe Prem outside of Nathan Collins. Okay, Evan Ferguson, if he's fit, yeah, he's obviously a Premier League striker, but Smodic's fair. Like, there's a few, but yeah, not enough to go around, really, is there? But then I don't know. It's one of these where like the Greece team doesn't have any either, but it's like they're just a team, Okay, Mavropanos maybe, but like I don't know. A lot of these nations just have that team work ethic, like in Iceland do, where like there's no stars, but like you try and break them down, and you'll have a tough time. And if you don't have that sort of stardust, which doesn't really look like Ireland do they really? Ferguson maybe, but
yeah, Parrott off the bench, Ida off the bench. He's like, but they're not that top end. McGrath as well. I'd like to see him get some international exposure.
Yeah, he's a good player, isn't he? Fabadou.
Georgia at home to Albania. Second game for Georgia. The predicted team looks the exact same. Double game week as Harry mentioned before. So you've kind of got that kind of carte blanche with it. Belgium, France. This is a tasty one.
Yeah, this
no
is big.
KDB.
No KDB. They drew 2-2 yesterday, wasn't it? With whoever they played, Italy. Sent off. I think Pellegrini got sent off. MDC left back had an absolute stormer with a goal. Really, really good Sorare score. Trossard had a couple of DAs, I think. Yeah, I don't know. This is not an easy game for France.
Not at all. Doku, Trossard, Openda, De Ketelaar. That's like a front four that is clever, and should cause a lot of problems. Can be, on the left, on the right, whatever. Your boy Klaus is on to start for the French. Look at that central backman, Klaus and Theo on either side, man. That's just overkill, isn't it?
Ridiculous. I don't know if I'm risking my Klaus though. I've spoke to a few of the French lads in my Discord, and they reckon because it's a really important game in that like they want to kind of win. They might not be as much rotation as you'd probably hope in most of these like not double game weeks, but really really close fixtures. I don't know. I'm not as confident as that. I think it'd probably be more like 60-40 in Koundé's way from what I've just been told by my French lads, but it could very well happen. I'm not risking it personally.
Should be a good one for rivals anyway. A lot of different options, lots of different permutations.
Is this a double?
I don't think so. I think France and Belgium run singles. Or double points, maybe. It might be.
Yeah, double rep or whatever.
Bosnia's second game against Hungary is on screen now. Looks kind of the same as the last team. I don't really see any differences. Germany, Holland. I think we've looked at both of these, but not for this game. No, we haven't. But I think they think Furyk will start this one, and that will move Clydenheist out of the team, and then they're just going to reshuffle things around in midfield essentially. But otherwise, change of the goalkeeper. Otherwise, it looks the same for Germany over both game weeks. And then second to last, let's do Czech Republic against Ukraine in case anyone cares about that, but that's it there. And then the last one we've got for the European section is Italy at home to Israel. So we've got actually a bit of a new look kind of team overall, isn't it, for Italy in a lot of positions? Richie, Fratese, Cambiasso coming in finally.
Barella injured?
Must be, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very much a new look Italy side, isn't it?
Maldini to get a goal off the bench. You know what's going to happen, don't you?
100%.
The latest in the line.
Harry scored, didn't he, last game?
Yeah. Oscar Gluck with an assist. I heard him for you.
I was surprised they got a DA against France.
Abada, Baribo, Eli Dassa. There's a few of them playing.
Yeah.
And then we've got Asia, which we were spending. That's kind of the main reason we were late. Just we're talking Japan, because Japan, like, I think you counted it as like 8 or something like that, but the amount of permutations, the amount of options they have across the attacking 5 spots they've got here is frightening. And this is like, alongside Korea, the hardest game that they're going to get in the section. So they've got to be going full strength, and this is what they reckon is going to be the Japan team. You're maybe not totally sold on one or two of the spots, Harry, yourself?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like we were saying, there's like 8 forwards that could play in those like top sort of 5 positions. And judging off yesterday, like Ito didn't start yesterday, neither did Nakamura, neither did Teke Kubo. Minamino did, Ueda did, Mitoma did. So like it depends on what you think the pattern is. Do you think it's the players that come off the bench that kind of start this one? And the fact they got a win yesterday is big. It's obviously less pressure on this second game, I would say. And Australia, like, they're no mugs, but like they're not amazing. They just got a new manager and they're still figuring things out there, I think, themselves. I don't know. I think there'll definitely be a few of those sub players that didn't start yesterday start in this one. I think Ito's the most nailed. Nakamura's a bit of a toss up, I think. Because surely you play Mitoma, don't you? Like, I don't know. But Nakamura's in some form, by the way, for in France. So maybe he gets rewarded for that.
Yeah, it's a real coin toss. So no double game week safety net for these guys either.
Yeah.
So you kind of ride or die. I think with the likes of Take and whatnot, like I was saying to you before we come on, like I think some of these guys that do play at the very top end of the game, they get like a game. They rotate them round. Like last international break, we seen like Hatate didn't feature at all, but like every other player got the thick end in 90 minutes over both matches, whether it be from the bench or from starts and whatever. So I don't know. There's always one that plays 2 games, and I said to you, if it's not Mitoma, it's probably Minamino, and that's what this points to Minamino playing 2. So I wouldn't be too surprised if like Mitoma didn't play the second match or something like that. Although it's hard to imagine him not starting. But I thought the same about Take Kubo in the first game, because Saudi Arabia is a tough game as well, away from home, I think it was also. So
yeah, very tough.
So I would have expected them to go absolute full strength, and like Kamada and all the rest of it are great, obviously, but I would have thought that would have been like Take, Mitoma, Minamino, and obviously Ueda that's got the nod at this point for centre, maybe Dyson or whatever. But so yeah, it's a real coin toss. It's a hard one. Somebody's asking as well, just make it, would you risk Mitoma? If you don't have any other options, you've kind of just got to, because he'll come off the bench probably, but
you'd like to think so, right?
But yeah, it depends how the game's going.
Exactly. And you got to think, like, they'll probably make 1 or 2 halftime subs as well, like they did last game with Ito. And I think maybe he was the only one, but like at best, a Matoma's coming on at halftime if he doesn't start, at worst, it's probably 70th. So
yeah, this is the game we had the other day. So it's this type of shape. Again, Mitoma can, if they're playing him wide left, again, he's played 88 minutes. That makes me think, yeah, he can sit the next game, no problem. Minamino playing 45 makes me think he's playing
could
both.
Go again. Yeah.
Dohan's played his 88. He's chilling out now for the second game. That's the way I would read it. And then Ueda, Dyson, they'd probably stick with Ueda because he's younger. Just get a bit more to try and develop out of him, Not that Dyson's old, but
no. Yeah, I definitely think he plays instead of Dohan. And then it's whether or not Nakamura comes in for Mitoma, and then it's whether or not Kubo comes in for... Well, Kubo definitely comes in for one of Minamino or Kamada, right? It's just like which one, basically.
It's a tough, such a quality team at this level, isn't it?
Japan. Mental, isn't it? They got so much quality.
And then we've got South Korea, who are at home to Iraq, and we've got, it's O season. It is O season. He's off the bench for Korea now, getting goals. Yeah, it's happening. Chang In Lee, Jae-Sung Lee, they're all there. No Son, obviously, but Kim Min Jae in defence. And I think, did Kim play the first game? I don't think it was that Hyun Woo, was it? I think it might have been.
I think it was the guy at the 60, I think.
Was it?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure.
And Bom Wang as well. He's at Feyenoord these days, isn't he? He played the first game, so they're at home to Iraq after beating the mighty Jordan in the last game. So
less rotation risk, I think, with South Korea.
Yeah, they've not got as much to kind of rest on in that sense, do they?
No.
Some chat coming in about the options and whatnot. And then we've got one game in South America. We've got Peru versus Uruguay. This is the Peru team that we've got on screen here. Alex Callens is on, which is good for me. Pedro Galicia in goals for all you guys that have got him. Andy Polo. And I don't think there's any. Zambrano. I don't know if there's any other names there anyone would be mad high on. And then this is the Uruguay team.
Not much going on, is there?
My boy Bueno's in it. I'm getting lots of internationals that are available for this window. Oh, Might have some decent teams this weekend. I might be quite excited actually.
It's just getting the goalies, isn't it, is the issue for me a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Just having the keepers. Decent Uruguay team though.
Yeah. Ugarte in centre defence, sort of.
Interesting. Yeah, no Araujo. They're missing Vinya. They're missing a few lads at the back.
Yeah, I think off the ball, he'll kind of walk into midfield, won't he? They probably expect to have a bit of the ball against Peru. I would say if Alex Callens is your left back, he's probably not going to be like a flying wing back in this game. That is what he's playing. But let's just see how it shapes out. But yeah, these games normally can be quite good for AA scores. There's lots of duels to be had. And then depending on who has dominated the ball, there's going to be good final third passing on the go.
Yeah. Then maybe La Liga 2 and then MLS, yeah.
La Liga 2, is that a full swing? Let's do MLS because it's a wee bit.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got Columbus Crew at home to New England. This is the Crew lineup with some of their internationals maybe out the building. Amundsen's on to play. That's fun. We have some good teams for this this weekend.
You've got bits everywhere, haven't you? Yeah.
Yeah. Getting quietly excited.
I crafted that Dylan Chambeau and he scored 100 last game week, Quinny, as a super rare. But I didn't play him obviously because he wasn't on to play. Yeah, he scored he was on both. He was on set pieces whilst Diego Rossi was on the field. So it looks like he was a 20 essence pull as well.
That's brilliant. By the way, Sterling Winter. Get a Holland stack out of his Liverpool collection. Love that.
Yeah, that's awesome. No Carlos Heel. He's out for the season. Not that there's much of the season left, but Carlos Heel is out.
He's away on a sunbed somewhere, isn't he?
Yeah, he's lost his head, haven't he, after that little bust up he had, and he's out. He's gone.
And then we've got Vancouver at home to LA. No Gold, obviously, but Stuart Armstrong's still there. Otherwise, the rest of the team looks pretty. This is always something that does confuse me, like how Tako Oka never gets into the Japan team. Like,
it is a bit
strange.
I know
Look, he's in there now, but this guy's never really been the guy, has he, for Japan?
It's weird, isn't it? Yeah, he's played probably he's always been a starter, Takeoka, right? Like he was in Japan, played every game. It felt like moved to the MLS, the same. Yeah, I don't know though. He never really lit it up though. If that he's consistent, but I don't know whether they see him as they clearly don't see him as the future because he's obviously a bit older. But yeah, it is weird though why he's never really had a shot though, isn't it? It is strange.
Yeah. It's just always when I'm just like, how does he never get in a squad? Yeah, I mean,
yeah, it is a bit weird. I get why they're going with
the young guys.
Suzuki, but yeah, beyond before him, I'm just interested why they didn't ever go with Takeoka. Yeah.
And then this is the LA team: Giroud and Kai Kamara, pair of poachers up front.
All the legs up front.
Yeah, we're posing for pictures of a pair of them. Yeah, decent team. And they're playing Vancouver, and then we have a bit of
you can only play them in All-Star, basically.
Yeah, so that's the thing with internationals that there's just there's not all those competitions open, so then all these guys kind of just get chucked in together, don't they? And if you do have bits and pieces, I don't know. I think it's quite good for just see what these other leagues are. If there's anything interesting, no, not really. Just click through La Liga 2. And then we'll have some deadline drama because I deleted all my teams not knowing who was going to be playing and stuff. And now, as I say, I've got maybe a wee bit of food for thought. But yeah, Tenerife against Zaragossa's at the top.
Yeah, I don't know too much about Tenerife this season. Malo's a decent scorer, I know that, but
yeah. Then we get Cartagena against Ferrol. I'm just going to click through these. You can pause it if you need to see the guys in any more detail or whatever. But I think for the most part, me and Harry are a wee bit oblivious to what's going on in the comings and goings of La Liga 2, top of the table against bottom of the league and all the rest of it. You can maybe have a peek at the matchups tab, but the region isn't open, so it's kind of
it'd be quite tough to.
It's kind of pointless because you can't play in a region and see who's got the best game. They're all just going to All-Star, like Harry was saying. Cadiz, Malaga. It's actually what we've got.
Eibar.
Yeah.
Are the two, I would say. Yeah, Cadiz, Eibar, Granada are the three that come up.
There's Eibar next. So yeah, these are all going into All-Star. And I think if you've got internationals, having a La Liga 2 stack probably does help you. So you know you've got the spine of a team that are maybe at home, or something like that. And then if you do have somebody up front for Georgia against somebody rubbish or whatever, All-Star could be good.
It's tough, isn't it? Because they had the license, you could play contender basically whilst this was open, but now they don't. La Liga 2 teams are now up against, double game week international sides. Like, they're nowhere near as powerful as they used to be because they were in their own little bubble in contender. So yeah, that is an issue in itself, but yeah, it's just how the game's gone.
Yeah, Santander against Levante. Oh, Morales is back at Levante playing every week.
Oh yeah, fucking hell, where's he been?
And then we've got the Spanish O'Reilly here, O'Reilly at the base of midfield. Oviedo, Almeria. Santi Cazorla starting.
That's pretty fun. Yeah, that Chira, that right winger, he's been pretty good. He's under 23.
Yeah, he is good. Escandel in goals. Almeria, Nico Melamed.
That'll be two good teams there, I think. Oviedo,
Luis Maximiano.
Luis Maximiano, wow.
How the mighty have fallen. Inigo Cordoba here for Burgos. I knew they had somebody decent in their ranks. And we've got Mirandes. Nobody that great here, is there? Granada, I think you mentioned them. Decent team.
Yeah, Sam Ties boys.
Yeah, Villar especially. I got a screenshot for Villar last week. He's got a 62. Always happens. This is the Cordoba team. And then we've got two left in La Liga 2. This is the Elche squad.
I'm big on my African grubber right now.
Turo's back from South America.
Yeah,
he was going well. In Chile or something. Where was it? He was playing somewhere funky.
He was somewhere, wasn't he? Somewhere weird.
Deportivo La Coruña. They memed the other day that they signed Sergio Ramos, but it was like a esports player they signed.
Oh, no way.
They said, like, we've just signed a 4-time European champion. He's done this and that. You know what I mean? And that is his name, and they left like enough spaces for Sergio and put an O at the end. If you know what I mean, but all the other ones were blank, like Hangman, and this guy's name is the same, but it's not Sergio, obviously. Totally trolled everyone.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Deportivo, when I was a kid, Deportivo were like a Champions League club.
I was going to say, when I was growing up, like Deportivo La Coruña were like a decent La Liga team.
Yeah,
like,
big
very
time.
Good. Yeah.
So,
who used to play for them, Quinny? I wouldn't be able to tell you, but like, who was their sort of?
Well, when they were like getting into the Champions League and stuff like that, they had a guy called Jalminha, who was like a Brazilian guy, began with DJ, like in terms of
Jalminha,
and this was the first guy that did like rainbow flicks and matches and stuff like that. Like, he was a proper showboater. They also got Denilson. I think they broke the world transfer record for maybe not. No, Denilson went to Betis actually. Who else did they have? They had I think they had Rivaldo before Rivaldo went to Barca.
Okay, yeah.
And Jalminha is the main one, and there's definitely somebody else. Like I want to say Mostovoy, but I know Mostovoy played for Celta Vigo. I don't know if they had Mostovoy. Guys in the chat, Roy Mackay, Diego Tristan, Juan Carlos Valeron, of course.
Valeron played, did he?
Remember Valeron? And
Capdevia played, did he? No, what?
Capdevia.
Is that a left back Capdevia that was at Villarreal? Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
Spanish left back, yeah.
And I want to say Ivan de la Pena comes into mind now, but again, I don't know if that's me misplacing. But Roy Mackay was for Deportivo La Coruña before Bayern Munich, for sure. Pauleta, Flavio Conceição, I remember. Some great ones here.
That's awesome.
So Roy Mackay is the one, but and then the last one we've got Sporting Gijón at home to Castellón.
Oh, Cesar Jalabert, that's interesting. He was playing in this league, then went to Toulouse, which is the team he's got in that picture. And it looks like he's found his way back. He's actually a good little player.
Nuruddin Nebet. I was going to mention Nuruddin Nebet is I thought people will slag me for mentioning a centre back. But yeah. Walter Pandiani was a bit of a football manager hero as well. He could take set pieces and stuff.
Oh, wow.
And of course, Alberto Lucio. And probably the last good player they had was Colaccini.
Wow, did he really play for them, did he?
Aye. Like way back.
Wow. Okay.
Love a bit of that. But yeah.
David Luiz before David Luiz, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's essentially. Yeah. And then this is the Castellón team. And that's everything for this game we carry, isn't it?
Yeah, mate. It's as much as there's bits going on, there's not a ton, is there? Really, outside of the internationals.
Do you want to show us what you've got lined up, and then we'll go through my deadline drama?
Yeah, for sure. I've only got it on Sorare data for now. I haven't popped it all in, but
That's how you spell his name if you want to watch YouTube showboating of this guy. Like, this guy was like rainbow flicking people for real. Like,
he was incredible. Wow. I don't think I ever really heard of him.
he didn't do anything outside of
No
Deportivo.
way.
Like, it was like like a 1-season wonder or something. Like, it
Wow,
wasn't.
that's amazing.
It wasn't like a proper like world class guy, but he was like brilliant for a season or two.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a few bits going on under 23s, Bart and Trubin. I brought in this Fudiaz fella, and apparently now he's out injured. So he is the Cartenia second keeper, I think, but it looks like he's out for whatever reason. So that kills my third lineup. So I might have to do a bit of rejigging there. But yeah, a couple of international nights, rare teams.
Wow,
I've got my full.
Harry.
Yeah, that's basically all Wales teams. I've got the first time ever that I've lined up, a super rare Welsh stack, which is
Fun.
Yeah, something that I've always wanted to do for a while. Not that it's really going to do much for me from an SO5 perspective, but it's just something I've wanted to do for a while. And then a couple of in-season ones. Obviously they're lining up the Kimmich with a bit of Welsh magic around him. Risking the Nakamura here. But yeah, I've got like 5 Harry Wilson, so he's very much if he doesn't pop off this game week, then I'm kind of in the mud. But yeah, I'll have to maybe do something with this because maybe a 4-man D3 side, that's fine, isn't it? We can live with that.
4-mans can do it, man, especially in international. If you just get lucky with your captain.
Just trying to think, do I go Elanga instead of Nico? They both got double game weeks in this little lineup. Because Elanga does have a good game against Estonia. It's just whether or not he plays that one or the first one or maybe both. Probably the only contemplation I have, really. Yeah.
It's a tough one.
Well, of course I had to line him up. Come on, Tom. I can't not leave Modric on the table, can I?
So what do you think you'll do with it then?
What, this one?
Yeah.
I think I'm just going to leave it. And because like Turkey have a double game week, Wales do, Soboside does, so does Bart. The only one that doesn't is Affengruber, which is a bit of a risk to captain him, but I fancy him at home to bring home a nice little 70 plus, to be honest. So, and maybe more if I'm lucky. So I don't really foresee anyone else smashing him. Well, maybe Soboside does in that second game. But yeah, I mean, Lewis Miller away to Japan's tough game. Gluch away to Italy. But then am I wasting Arvston? Maybe. I guess I could. I'm just trying to think. Could any of these go into internationals? Yeah, maybe a Langa over Grant Leon Ranos. Considering it's a 5-man side, yeah, I think I would do that. Let me remove that because I don't think Ranos plays, honestly.
Yeah, pick scores are a wee bit deceptive this week, aren't they?
I've got Topi as well, but he, pick scores are tough, aren't they, for internationals, especially because they don't take into consideration both matchups and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all she wrote for me.
I was having a wee kind of look through again at just what I've got wrestling around, and I've got a super rare lineup I can put out, but my 5th man is my struggle point. So I've just seen Santiago is going to be playing for Uruguay against Peru. Peru don't score lots of goals, but it's not going to be a great game. I've got Christie playing Croatia, which isn't great probably. Devikas and Kamada are probably both on the bench, and I've got Callens, who's at home to Uruguay. So I've got one defender in that game I could play, or Christie, essentially, to 5-man out with Ayer, Sabitzer, Oyarzabal, and Skorupski, which isn't a great team, but like it's 5 starters. And it's just how do I want to shake it? Do I want to go with a home centre back or an away centre back, kinda, or maybe Christie? But I don't think Christie's been that great for Scotland.
I think I'd go Callens just because of how good he's been recently for how he scores for Peru. But
he does score really well for Peru. It's most of his games because he plays in Greece these days.
Yeah, if you can get 70 out of him, you're laughing, really, aren't you? That's kind of where.
Bueno, do we get much out? 70 and a 40 off the bench?
I mean, they're probably going to have more possessions. If you think Bueno could do that side of things, then you're basically going off, Callan's not conceding a ton and getting loads of duels, or Bueno just having loads of passing stats and keeping a clean sheet and maybe getting a few, duels or whatever. I don't know. Bueno has more upside, doesn't he, really, if he's on the better side?
Yeah. I suppose you would say that. It's a tough one, but isn't it? 'Cause these games. What was the matchups tab for this one? It's quite split, wasn't it? Uruguay, Peru. I don't think it was anywhere near the.
Oh no, it was, yeah, Uruguay like nearly 60% favourites.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Maybe take Santi.
I mean, I think I would just off like the upside of it, to be honest. But it's tough. It's really tough.
They maybe drop Ayer and just play both of them. Just hope for a 0-0.
No, I genuinely, I think I would.
That makes me feel a wee bit better as well. Just go for a 0-0. I don't know. Ayer against Austria, it's not a great game either, is it? 54 in the last one.
Not really.
A 3-0 win, a 54. It's not going to get any better than that, is it?
Probably not.
Yeah, then we can captain Sabitzer with it. Yeah, let's do that. Play the defenders against each other, 0-0 in that one. Good XP bonus across the board as well. The Girona collection coming in again. This is the team that we were talking about. That made us a bit late. So this is my top team. I've got that set up already. I've got a few other goalkeepers. So I don't know how strong all my teams will be ultimately, but I think that's pretty strong. It's quite hard to improve on that. If we know O's going to play, we've got a double game week for Wirtz. All Black's playing Kazakhstan. Come on, All Black.
Has he got a double game week, All Black? No.
No.
Yeah, it's tough.
So let's see, team two. Team two, I've got Vasilj and I've got Schmeichel. And I'm kind of torn on both of these. Hungary could be good for Vasilj. Maybe Germany could be good as well, but I don't know. Schmeichel could be good for Denmark.
Double avenue. Double matchup. Or double game week, sorry.
2 clean sheets against Switzerland and Serbia not that long ago.
Spain, though, isn't it? Like,
yeah. Is that a clean sheet? No, it's not. It's just 8-8. 2-0 loss.
Just got to hope for no 3-0, basically.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It's a tough one. Rico Man finished first under 23 warm-up, but they have now removed the rewards. What the fuck? I don't know. I thought it was like a podium. I thought there was always a podium for these ones once you completed the missions. Or it was like the podiums, but it was like tier 3s was the best thing. I don't know. Maybe check into that one. Elanga not set to start, by the way. He'll be a sub for Sweden.
Yeah, 2 games though. I'd surely get a good amount of minutes in both. He might not start either, but I think I'm still going him. I don't really have many other options that I fancy, honestly.
Good double game week, I think.
Yeah.
And then I was really hoping to get some clarity on Chenot, because Chenot playing Bulgaria, that could be a good game for him, but he's not been good for them for a little while. And then I don't really know who
balance 14.5%.
15.
Callan, sorry.
Oh, Callens. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I've got Callens again as well. New York collection. Callens. Collection. Callens. You think so? Frimpong's got 2 games.
Yeah, you'll definitely feature him one, won't he? But if it's the Germany one, then it's not great.
Yeah. Scales playing Greece.
Tough game, man. Tough game.
Scales is the guy, but I don't know.
For me, that's a. Well, yeah. Do we know if Chenot's alive? Like, is he okay?
I don't know what happened to him.
No, it's just in like, is he going to play type of thing?
I've got no idea. That's what I'm worried about. I'd like to play him, but just get absolutely zero clue.
I'd go Callens all day, knowing he's sort of nailed.
Oh yeah, the deadline's moved.
Oh, that's weird.
That is weird. We're very early, Harry, or we're going to be on a very long show.
That's a bit mad, isn't it? Is that right, do you reckon? I mean,
Oh,
obviously it's right, but like, it's a weird one, that.
Yeah. Maybe it's a bit of an international adjustment they didn't tell us about. But anyway, interesting. Good catch, good spot, guys. Would you go double Callens or Scales? Or
If Scales was at home, I'd feel a little bit better about it, but the fact that Callens is at home, I know it's not a great game in that, like, it's Uruguay, but you'll be busy, man.
It says 47 minutes on the main page. Oh, does it? Maybe this is glitched out or something.
Wow.
So maybe false alarm there, guys. If you thought, oh, you've got some time to go and chill and come back, you don't. And then there's Robbo, who always scores well for Scotland, but it's about how many we concede, really. And does he get into the... Yeah, sometimes he might do crap. But normally he does pretty good. It's a tough one. Who's in midfield? I'll come back to defence in a second. Oh, Soboslai walks into the team for this one. And then I've got Take still. And I've got Oscarson. Anyone that's got an idea on Oscarson playing, I would be interested to hear. Doak's on to start as well, as we've seen.
Yeah,
That's
I don't know if he
interesting.
starts, though, does he really?
It's against Croatia. It's not exactly a great game to lean
It's
into.
not an easy game to throw him into.
And then you've got Matoma, you've got Dyson, Forrest. I think that, Zubimendi. Could Zubimendi Rodri's face-off against Denmark?
He could score pretty well, yeah. Without a DA, probably 70-ish.
Off the bench, 51 and 40. 2 internationals off the bench there. Starting in
I reckon Ori starts, by the way.
Oh, nice. I might use him. Oh, I'll definitely will use him, just don't know where. But yeah, 61 from the start there. I could take Zubimendi maybe. It looks like he's going to start. He was on that projection, wasn't he? No Nkunku for this one.
Excuse me, I think he plays, definitely.
Yeah. I quite like the thought of Zubimendi. Okay, I think I'm going to play Scales in defence. Do you know, I'm going to play Scales in defence, and then the extra spot, want to go double defence is what I was just kind of thinking there, because midfield could be fine, but Chanot could smash, Robertson could smash, whereas like Zubimendi probably doesn't, but he could, I suppose, if he's Rodri, but maybe he can just help team 3 a bit better than this team 2. So yeah, I'm probably going to maybe put Robbo into this, just because of certainty and all that. And then I'd probably captain Soboslai, because he's on set pieces and stuff. He's got 2 games. Yeah, I think that's the way I would go with this. Oh, it's the next game starts on the team selection. So that's the...
yeah.
And we've got a third team. So let's see. This is the most international utility I've ever had, typically. We've got Schmeichel, and then in defence, we're looking at Chanot and Callens again, and Frimmers, and Ralston. We know Ralston will play, but probably not going to do well. I suppose Callens is at home. It's kind of easy just to pick him. And then we've got Zubimendi, who's playing Schmeichel, but if we didn't play him, we'd be looking at Matoma, who we're worried about starting, really, aren't we? Oh, I've got Limer. Oscarson. And then, so what did we have in the last team? We had like Robbo and Scales. How about, yeah, I'm going to put Zubimendi in that other team. So I was worried I wouldn't have a mid. And who will we drop for Zubimendi? Scales or Robbo? I'm going to drop Robbo. I think Scales is just, he could get a triple. I don't think Greece will score. Or maybe Greece could score 3 against Ireland. Oh, this defence is the problem, really, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
Scales. I'm going to take Robbo in this team just because he's like a known element for the most part. And who did Croatia have on the right? I don't think it's not as good as Sosa and Guardiola, obviously. Jakic.
Genuinely don't know who he is.
Yeah. And we're not bad either, you know. So yeah, I'm going to go, and Robbo takes set pieces and stuff. Yeah, go Robbo. Captain Soboslai. That's a fun team. Greece should have scored 3 against England.
Greece are dangerous.
And then the third team, we've got Schmeichel. Okay, maybe we stay away from Greece then. We go Callens. He's at home in a probable low-scoring game. And in the mid, we've got Leimer to play, don't we? Yeah. And then up front, Oscarson. This is a fun team as well, by the way, for third pick. This is normally like the strength of my best team in internationals. Won the wrong tab, sorry, but there we go. And then the final spot, do we take Gold, Matoma, both shaky scales? We've just spoke about the fixture quality. And then it's Dysons and Forests, Chenot, Openda against France.
That might work.
Abada against Italy. And Kunku off the bench. Doak. This final spot's a tough one. Oh, yeah, Razabal. Nah. Openda didn't do good in the last game, did he?
Not amazingly, no.
87 minutes. He is on the projection, isn't he, for Belgium?
Yeah.
I'm just going to double check.
Down to start.
Yeah. And who they having in defence? It's so hard to see scoring goals against France. The defence they've got. And they don't have Nkunku starting. No. Yeah, so I think I'm looking at probably fifth man being I'll probably take Scales. I know he's going to start, and he could just have one of these games where we got a goal there, but could just get like 20 to 30 AA, and that could be enough for me. Effective clearances, yeah, we're all about that. Possession lost, that may be a problem. He's not going to get the passing stats. Or Matoma, or Hatate, or Dyson. What did Dyson do in the last match? Come off the bench for 27 minutes. That's probably the worst case, most likely scenario that happens again. Against Australia, I don't think that's great. And I've got Chenot. Sorry, date, I think Chenot's going to play. Can I try and, if any of you guys know, let me know. Would you pick Pies for Indonesia against China, Vasilj or Nyland? Nyland is playing for who again?
Norway away to Austria.
Yeah. I'm probably going to go Pies.
Yeah. You missed a little pun there. You said, let me Chenot.
Let me Chenot, of course. I'm going to put in Luxembourg national team.
Yeah, I don't think there's many predictions is the issue.
They didn't play a game midweek, did they? Either they've not had a
no.
Against Bulgaria on Tuesday. Who are they playing on this page? It's not Bulgaria, is it? Oh, it is. Yeah, I've got maybe a preview here. I found in some mad language. This looks like Darmstadt. Oh, I don't know if I've clicked on the right thing. Nuremberg celebrated the debut of Bulgarian national. Blah blah blah. No, this is not what I'm after. Yeah, anyone's got any intel, feel free to get me in the loop. Football in Luxembourg. Yeah. Martin Pies, I think. I didn't know Diego Tristan had let himself go so badly, but Diego Tristan, the Deportivo forward we mentioned before, he was like he was a proper goal scorer, you know, like always scored in the big matches. And like if you watch his highlight reel, it was pretty brilliant. Right, I think I've found. Here's the French Guyana squad. No, why are we finding the French Guyana squad? Where is the Luxembourg squad? It's under 21s. Jesus. This is the senior one. Chanot is in the squad. Yeah, sorted. 3rd of October. If he's in the squad, I'm playing him. That's fine.
Probably plays, didn't he?
Then who do we captain? But that's the next problem. I'm a bit of a Limer guy. I like his AA, but he's obviously not really decisive capable overly in that deeper role. Callens has got a bit of everything. Oscarson's a goal merchant. And Chanot is kind of somewhere in the middle of all that. I think I'd maybe go Captain Schmeichel. Why not? Against the Spanish. Why Oliveira's predicted is not predicted. What Oliveira is that? Sorry.
Is that the Uruguayan kid from LA? Maybe
he was projected to play when we checked it.
Yeah, he was on like 30 or 40% behind Palestri, if it's the same one, or it could be the left centre back though from Uruguay. Isn't there like a centre half or something similar name?
Yeah, I do have Amundsen. Would I maybe turn one of those teams into a all-star and play Amundsen in defence?
Potentially. I don't think it changes it too much personally, but it's a good fixture, obviously. I don't know whether it would be like, because you got to think you're playing against everything in All-Star compared to everything else. But yeah,
I'm just seeing if I had any. I'd probably put a 4-man effort into under 23, just for the banter of it all. Right, I know they're not going to play Harry, right? But if one of them was going to play, who would you pick, Van der Voort or Tanny?
Van der Voort.
I think so too. Glad you said that. And we can get a team out. Only one midfielder. We've got Doak and Abada. Hi, this is fine. Throw them out. Captain Frimmers, Captain Quan, Captain Frimmers. 4-man effort. Let's cross our fingers and toes. See if we get any luck with that. And I've already done training. So I'm feeling pretty good now.
Yeah. Some good teams.
Buzzing.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
I actually got some international stuff to play for. A couple of teams. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Good to see the NYC boys back. Callens and 2 different collections coming in to pay off here as well, which is fun. Some in-season guys, awesome. Some Sociedad guys. It's good fun, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Have you done your tweaking, your problem solving?
Yeah, I think so. I'm just going to leave it as it is. I'm not too fussed. The only thing I'm thinking about doing maybe is change my International Nights Classic Super Rare into an All-Star Super Rare, which means obviously I'm playing against a lot more players. But I have that Dylan Chambeau Super Rare that I could use. So I'm a bit like torn a little bit maybe on using him. But the fact that all the Welsh boys have 2 games, it makes me feel like I just throw them in and just see, they might not all start tonight, but I just got to hope, over the 2 games they do. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave it.
With an SO5 team like that as well, like you only need like half of them to do well in each game,
right?
Like, I mean, like 2 of them do good against Iceland, and then 2 do good against, like you're fine, and then the goalkeeper, you're just obviously getting the best one that he does. So
I've got a feeling Ward doesn't start tonight, so I'll be like, I'll be sweating then on Monday, hoping he plays the home game, obviously. As long as Wilson I say that though, we're away to Iceland, so I'm not really expecting many of the big scores to come in this game. If they do, like you said, jackpot, because then you've got a buffer then, haven't you, on Monday night? So yeah, we'll see. But I'll just stick them all together and see what happens.
Charlie Dunbar, Lewa at home to Portugal or Gordon away to Greece in 50-50. I'm leaning Lewa. I would lean Lewa as well because Lewa's on penalties
all day. Pens.
You just get that get out of jail free at home as well. I would go with that as well. But and then this is a great one from Dan Moody. Obviously, you've just got classic Kimmich because that's like quite a deliberate strategy point. But in season Bundesliga, who would you look at? Wirtz, Musiala, or Kimmich? Now, I wonder if he wants us to flavour this with the fact that Musiala is injured right now and maybe on a bit of a haircut. Maybe. I don't know if that's part of the thinking as well. But
yeah, I think Musiala is the lowest in the list for me by not a mile, but like I'm picking Wirtz and Kimmich all day over Musiala personally, because the forward cards of Wirtz and Musiala are the ones you really want. Obviously, they're not in season, so that's the issue.
Yeah.
I think it's night. I think Kimmich is miles ahead of both of them personally, from a like 45 AA standpoint. Like, I'm not saying Wirtz can't do that. Musiala definitely can't do that. So
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I think it's Kimmich is like, if we got 10 places, I'm putting Kimmich top. Wirtz is probably in the third, and like Musiala for me is like in seventh or something. Like if I'm ranking them right now.
Especially with Kimmich, because he plays every game. Like, it's just not really up for discussion ever. Whereas Wirtz, you know he's going to get that headache rotation at some point.
And he can blank. Like, Wirtz is amazing. But you are paying under 23 premium in a weird way as well. So it's like, depending on where, like if you were asking me under 23, then obviously Kimmich wouldn't be in the question. But yeah, I think it's not even being biased. I think it's Kimmich all day.
It should be Hakon in goals for Iceland.
Yeah. It's got to be Kimmich, hasn't it?
A £50 budget, who would be a good Bundesliga in-season goalkeeper? I think for £50 you can buy any of them. I quite like the Frankfurt Brazilian guy that's come out of nowhere. He's around the kind of £30-40 mark, I think. Doesn't have many cards. Might be under 23 as well, but he's started to perform pretty well, and I like him. But his position is not certain, because there is Trapp floating around who's like a club legend, so that may be a headache, but he's the first one that springs to mind. I like him as like a good keeper, good card to own for a while.
Bundesliga is tough, isn't it? There's so many goals. Like, even for the big teams, they're all conceding. So like, if you're playing in Bundesliga comp, then I get it. Like, you can only pick a Bundesliga goalie. So like, but if you're not, like, if you're playing champ, then I wouldn't be picking up Bundesliga keepers personally for that. But if you are picking them up for obviously Bundesliga, Jesus, I mean, just like pick your poison, isn't it? None of them are like that amazing. They've all got an error in them. They've all got 3 goals conceded in them. Unfortunately, nature of the league. Honestly, I honestly don't have a name that springs to mind that I'm like, yeah, he's the guy. Like, because Kobel's like not the guy.
No.
Neuer's just Neuer, and it's just like, you know, Nubel maybe, but Stuttgart are prone to score, like conceding lots of goals at times as well. So I think safest from like a safety thing, I think I would go Nubel, honestly, but I don't know his price. So yeah.
Rono and Zetterer are like closer to the 25 mark. Rono is like the SO5 one of them all, really.
Yeah.
Zetterer at Bremen's been pretty solid. Zentner as well, the Mainz guy, is pretty decent. He's maybe closer to the £20 kind of mark. But and I like going after Grabara, but I don't think Grabara's actually really made that spot his own since he transferred in. And we all do love a Polish goalkeeper, of course. It's something we all love in football. I suppose he has been playing. Fair enough. I don't know why I thought he wasn't straight into the team. I don't know why I thought that. Sorry, but he has been playing. Just he's been collecting negative decisives since he got to Germany. But fair enough, it is Leverkusen and Bayern,
keeper, isn't it?
Yeah,
like that is a Bundesliga keeper for you. Couple of error-led to goals, couple of fucking own goals, but then like a 70 and a 30 AA and a 20 AA. That is the Bundesliga for you, you know. And that's the issue with having one, is because you can't rely on him every game week is the issue. That's where you're going to need to swap and change if you have the luxury of doing that, you know, of having 2 or 3 of them and just playing the matchups as best as you can.
Yeah. Galashi's good as well, but you need Van der Voort. I kind of agree with that as well, because, you know, that's kind of, it's the same as the Frankfurt guy, who's my favourite. I don't know how to spell his name, so I'm just going to put Frankfurt in. But I think Trapp's maybe I think that's a cheaper situation maybe overall. Like, because I don't think Van der Voort's cheap for a backup. And I don't think Galashi's cheap as a starter, if you know what I mean. But this guy, yeah, 23 quid for the limited. And he's got negative decisives and still breaking 80.
It's mad, isn't it? Mental. Like, actually, that is the Bundesliga all over.
Yeah, so this guy's good. I like him. He's got 80 pouring out his ears. Negative 80s are there, obviously, as well. But yeah, he's 23 quid. And if he does lose his spot, it's only going to be to Trapp, who is always pretty cheap, never mind when he's injured. He's actually not. I thought he'd have been cheaper than that right now. He's 20 quid as well. Whereas Galashi and Van der Voort, I think there's a combination that'd be more expensive. Trapp is back, he's saying. Cool. So just watch out for that situation. Frankfurt do have midweeks, so maybe that develops throughout the season. maybe Trap plays midweeks or whatever.
Yeah.
Expected to reclaim his spot. Yeah, like I say, he's a club. Like he's a local Frankfurt guy. Went to PSG, came back, won the Europa League with them, played Champions League with them. He's like a club icon, club hero, legend, whatever. So yeah, that probably then means the other guy probably transfers. But they've just signed that new guy onto a big contract. So like, yeah, I don't know. I just like that better as a goalkeeper department. And then Yippee-ki-yay. We're taking some questions, Harry. I guess we're kind of at the end of it. So just until we run out of steam. What I know, if you want top rip div, you can't use Neuer because everybody use him and he never scored high. Yeah, so Neuer's not enough of a differential. He's quite like maybe the most commonly used goalkeeper. So then you're just in with the crowd on goalkeeper position. More pressure on your outfielders making a difference. I think it's the point of that.
Yeah. And even I think he's saying that he doesn't even score that well. So like everyone owns him and he doesn't even score that well. So you just got to go against the grain there.
Yeah, because Bayern aren't they're not giving their goalkeeper a chance to get all around for the most part, you know. So although he is a great keeper that can make saves, he just actually doesn't make them, you know, because they're just not really there.
How many errors he got there?
Yeah,
that is horrendous, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, that's pretty stinking. And in there,
like if that doesn't scream, just hang him up. I don't know what does.
Look at that, fucking hell, man!
Just pin him against the wall, boots and the gloves.
Jesus, aye, maybe enough's enough, big man.
I think so.
How do you decide on selling the card? So for me, like I'm always selling guys when if they're not built into a collection or built into something I'm going to be keeping. But whenever I see their price and I think, oh, I would never pay that. If I catch myself saying that, then it's, well, someone is willing to pay that. So like, can I sell it and can I do something else with it? It's been a while since I've had to really market move with some guys like that. But when it gets to that point where you wouldn't buy them for that price, that's definitely where you have to be putting them under the microscope. What do they do for your team? If you sold them, what would that gain you? Could you replace them and have some cream on top, or go get a defender, or do something else with the proceeds? That kind of one. Do you have any kind of little habits like that, Harry?
Yeah, I think one I used over the road to glory this last couple of days is like that taupe. I had that Topi in season card from Aberdeen, and I bought him for £3 2 weeks ago. Sold him for nearly £8 Monday. No, not Monday. Whenever the deadline. Yeah, it would have been Monday or Tuesday. More than 100% profit on him. Obviously limited, part of the road to glory, and yeah, I wasn't going to use him over this international break. So why would I leave that profit on the table? It makes no sense. Like I'm literally not putting a lineup out. So things like that, especially from my road to glory standpoint, like if you've got a smaller gallery and you're working on a tighter budget and you do see a card of yours balloon in price, then that is when I'm selling them. Like when I don't have the luxury of, absorb it. Like if you have a bigger gallery, you can kind of just not ignore price rises, but like you're just not as interested in like buying and selling. I don't think anyway. Personally, I think you're in a similar boat. There's obviously people out there with big galleries that do like to buy and sell, but ultimately, if you've got if you're on a bit of a tighter budget, and one of your players is an anomaly in that like he's over 100% in profit, if you could sell him here and there, I think you've got to take it, because at limited you can buy so many other good players with £7, whereas like one Topi is just not worth that for me in my road to glory scenario.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Like just selling into the demand when it comes, because again, it only takes like 1 week and that demand's gone and he's back to being £3 again,
Exactly. I did it with Camille Negli, who plays for Sparta. There was the Eredivisie special, right? And they had a really good home fixture against Warwick, and he doubled in price. I bought him for £2.50, sold for like a £5. And I was just thinking, well, I'm kind of hedging myself. Like I'm not playing the Eredivisie special in one, so it doesn't really matter for me. But two, I'm kind of hoping he doesn't really do that well this weekend, because then his price will come back down. And he didn't. He blanked, which is quite lucky for me. And I obviously sold him before the deadline. And I brought in two strikers. I brought in Dion Bello and I brought in this Sego, this guy from Croatia, for like literally £3. And I've got, 2 cards now. So you just like, sell 1 card, make double or make whatever, buy 2 cards for half the price. And you're just banking the profit and sort of adding to your gallery. That's kind of what I've been doing, on the RTG. And it's been working pretty well for me at limited. I don't know if this is sustainable in rare. Like, are we seeing those doubles in prices. Like if you buy someone for a tenner, yeah, you could obviously sell for 20, but are we seeing that more limited, like 1 to 2 quid? Probably, right? That's just kind of how, the nature of the game goes at limited. And yeah, I've found a bit of success with just as soon as one of my guys is just peaking too far high, he's got to go basically.
Yeah. I used to like it as well with guys that I would buy to trade in. Like Diego Costa always comes to my mind because it was like a mad funky transfer with him and all that. But in terms of like if you've bought a guy to sell him and deciding like when is the point, for me it's all about the L5. As soon as I've got a hot L5, like that's let's go, let's list them, let's take some offers. And that's kind of part of the fun of this game as well. Is like if you are trading guys, or you buy a toppy, you buy like a prospect, a cheap guy to try and use them. Is yeah, the whole point of that obviously is you're trying to gain out of it, and part of that gain is obviously selling it into the market, which you've not got too much control over how much you actually pull out at the end. You can't say, oh, I will definitely this will happen or whatever. But part of the fun of that is they're doing good at football when you've probably got them in a lineup or two, and if you can have that kind of have your cake and eating it aspect of the game, which is always fun when you can tap into it. I'm all about that. So yeah, if you've got like an L3 on the go, like I don't know, I'm always tempted to wait till the L5 is there, and it just looks even better on the market these days now, the way the website's built. Like when the L5 is full, like people will start being interested in that card very quickly. Like
I think pick scores on Sorare data definitely dictate this as well. The market, if you see a guy that's high on the pick scores for a specific weekend, like this weekend, for example, someone that's a AAA, like you're going to get offers on cards like that. That's just the nature of how people are scouting these days, which is fine. But yeah, like you said, no. He is phenomenal, by the way. So good. He's no Luke Ayling, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, so I'm hearing.
Well, I mean, to win Challenger in the season on the weekend, Bossagli scores 100.
Yeah.
You've just got to hope that everyone else at PSV doesn't do anything, which basically happened outside of De Jong. So yeah, I got really lucky there.
That's a good one. I think in these situations as well, again, I'm just trying to think about times I've done the same thing in the past, or but that kind of feeling of like, I remember when Van Dijk, I got him for like a quarter of an ETH or something like that, and then within like, I don't know, 3 months, 4 months or something, I sold him for 1.6. It was like 4 or 5 grand or something. It was a lot. And I replaced him with Guardiola and Angelino, and both of them cost me like the same price as the Van Dijk cost me originally. And then the rest of it was just skim. I can't remember what I did with it precisely at this point. I'm sure there's a video you can go and watch if anyone cared to. But that's a great move to do in Sorare when you've got like a guy that just pops up. It goes from 3 quid to 8 quid, or it goes from something more extravagant to something better. And then it's like, just get a guy in that's like the same guy anyway, essentially in terms of scoring profile. And then maybe there's could you get a prospect in as well? Because that trading model, like if you're playing Sorare with that, you kind of need to have it as a conveyor belt in a way. You've got a few guys that are maturing and they've got that L5, they've broke into the team, the transfer's paid off. And then if you just get guys that you want to use, it's harder to sell them when that happens, because it's like they're part of the collection, or this guy's actually part of the strategy. And you kind of always need to have like, oh, who could be the next guy that could do that for me? I think that's something that can be missed out when you're actioning that stuff, is like thinking about just getting our guy in. If we're using this scale of limiteds, getting our guy in for £1.20, that could be a fiver,
literally. Like, because there's so many limiteds. I bought in a Tom Kraus yesterday from Luton, like 60 pence. It's just like, and I'm selling cards for 3 quid. Like, although it's not much money in the grand scheme of things, but as far as percentages go, it's massive, 3, 4, 5x. So like, from that perspective, there's definitely, you've got to ride waves on cards. Yeah, what Charles doing there, sell one guy that's like proven, and you buy 3 with a bit of upside and maybe not as proven, similar to what you did with the Van Dijk and Guardiola Angelino situation. Yeah, but like the issue is you don't see, like, I'm rare. You're not going to see these massive price rises as much as you used to. You will on in-season cards, but on classics, you ain't seeing them. Like, because there's just no reason for them to happen. They're suppressed by their classicness or the classic nature.
I think it's kind of, I agree entirely with what you said, but I do think part of that is kind of flavored with what their classic supply is. Like some guys have got Udo cards, and that's definitely who it's appropriate for. But some of the guys that have got like a season behind, they've maybe only got one classic season, maybe 1.5 or something. Like, I think if they're good enough, there still will be a bit of a move on them, because it's all about how many are actually listed. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the point of the caveat I'm putting against it, because most classic guys have got tons of guys listed, so there's not as much. It's harder to get pressure on price in that sense. But with some guys that don't have like years of classics behind them, that pressure doesn't take as much to build up and maybe kick a guy on. But yeah, season all the way for that, for sure.
Yeah, because like we've seen like Lo Celso's price absolutely spiked, didn't it, over the last couple of weeks with him scoring 100 like 10 times. There was a couple of other ones as well. I'm trying to think that have like really ballooned champion cards. Trying to think. He's the one that definitely comes to mind. I'm sure the chat can help us out on a few others that have like just absolutely exploded. I'm trying to think.
I think part of it is, see, looking at Lo Celso, because I wanted to check how many cards he's got. He's got 160 rares. I think part of it as well is the entry point. You know what I mean? Because 19 quid, 15 quid. I've said this on the channel for ages. See for a rare, like any rare under 50 quid is interesting. You know what I mean? In my book. And it's then kind of like, if you're using 50 quid as a line, it's could this guy get over 50 quid? You know, is that kind of the line now? Because I used to think about guys in ETH. I used to think about guys, could I sell this guy for an ETH? You know, that was always my...
At some point.
Yeah. That's where I'd get the nosebleed and sell Amiri or sell, like, obviously Van Dijk went a wee bit above. But if somebody got, if they got to like that level, it was like, go. So maybe with some of these guys, you're getting them for 20 quid. Could he be 100? Could he be 70? Could he be 80?
Well, what's the in-season Lo Celso? Because I think he was at like 300 quid or something nuts. Or maybe more. I swear he went to a stupid price.
Instant buys at 350.
Yeah, like people were spending 300 on him. He's literally over 10x, which is quite, like, that won't happen very often with many cards. 230, 270 high. I mean, like, that is massive, really, if you think about it.
Yeah.
4 good scores.
Get that L5 popping. Let's see when he had that L5. See when he had that L5. That's when it happened. When
you sell.
You know?
Yeah.
You know,
literally.
And then he DNPs.
And then he gets injured for Argentina last night. Nah, I think he's okay. But there was something on Twitter saying that you might have got injured or something. But yeah, it's tough. But like when you were mentioning then about like the issue is collections. Like having a collection restricts you from selling your Lo Celso in season Betis card most of the time, because it just F's your whole Betis collection then, doesn't it? Not only from a collection standpoint, from a, well, who's my midfielder now? Because I already have him. Obviously, you can replace him, but you can't. Like, who are you gonna buy? If you sell him for 250, you buy like a, I don't know, Valverde maybe. But it's like, what's the point? I just keep the Lo Celso.
Yeah, it depends on what he does for you, doesn't it? Because I'm thinking of him more as like your Kimmich. You know, like if your Kimmich like went to, like if it quadrupled in price, you'd maybe think about selling that. And it doesn't affect your collection. Yeah. He's like the trade card, the kick card.
Yeah,
he's the one that you've had kind of to the side. And I think like looking at a guy objectively, like, oh, he's 15 quid for a rare. It's maybe not something you've got as part of a collection. Obviously, if you've got a best collection, you've probably got it, you know. But just for anyone that's not that collection heavy, and you're looking at some of these cards, could you get appreciation out of them? Makes it easier if you do keep arm's distance from them. In that sense, like this is a trade piece. It's a rare that's under 20 quid. He's just moved down a level in terms of league standings, or you know, whatever the thing is. He's come back from an injury, depending on what player you're talking about.
It's tough, isn't it? Because like, as much as you want to take the profit, you're gonna have to replace him if you want to be competitive, and the chances are the player you replace him with most of the time is around that price anyway. So it's like, it's a tough one. Like, yeah, who do you replace? Who is your next Lo Celso in La Liga is the issue, you know? There ain't one really. Like Baena maybe, but he's still 200 quid.
Yeah.
It's tough, isn't it, to like actually sell them? Because like, who do you replace him with? And you end up spending the same amount that you bought him for. And then you're hoping that Valverde card that you paid 250 quid for in season goes to $1,000. But like, the chances are that ain't going to happen. Really.
I think the actual play here would be like, especially if it's an in-season Lo Celso, in this kind of example we've got in front of us, you sell it and then you're buying a classic Lo Celso, and then you're buying. They say you've got the scores, but then you go and buy a really good in-season forward
or something. Yeah.
or whatever, you know, and then you've
I agree.
still got the same team, but you've made the upgrade. Or
exactly. Like you're
So
losing
move
out on
like
the
that.
Lo Celso XP, but ultimately you're gaining maybe a really good forward that you didn't have. You know,
Yeah,
that's the
Aye.
only way it like really works, I think.
Like, because I know Charlie sold a Nico Williams, and he was going around buying some other forwards and stuff like that. So I like that. And again, when I was doing gallery reviews the other day, like it's interesting when you see like, when you do have a lot of in-season cards, there is like as your base, like you're not like I know when we look at a lot of lineups, we do a lot of gallery builds and stuff like that. It's about, oh, you could get a classic like Kimmich and that kind of thing. You could kind of build it in. But when you're doing that as you build the squads, you're like, right, well, I've got 5 in season, 1 classic, and then you've got the second squad, and you're kind of doing something similar. It's quite tightly wound. And then if one guy is injured or one guy's out of form, it's so delicately balanced that you've not got that much flexibility to just like, oh, I'll just put that guy with Kimmich now, or, you know. And a lot of the guys I was looking at were quite, like, there was not that many classics actually in them. And I think then, like, if you do limit the classics that you have, just period, it just means you've got a lot more flexibility to kind of, you know, make sure you're picking the best team and you're not still kind of hamstrung on criteria for getting the lineup out in that way. So
100%.
like
that's the issue. That's why I bought the Kimmich. Like if I'm going to be hamstrung to a classic card, it's got to be the best one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because otherwise I'm making suboptimal decisions if I'm captaining, you know, gross every game week that hasn't showed that he can pop off every game and he's like fixture proof, you know. That's the only, not only, but like that's the most ideal scenario. If you can captain a classic card every week that you aren't, there's like basically fixture proof. Again, there's a very small pool of them. Sorry. But like, yeah, but look at his scores. Like they haven't even been like there is some under like this. They look okay. They're just not getting the decisives.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Yippee is saying, BBB aren't like on fire right now.
I didn't think its price difference in season at Classic was going to be that steep, to be honest with you, for gross. But I suppose it is a top stack in Dortmund, isn't it? And all the rest of it, Bundesliga.
They've been weird, haven't they? Like Schlotterbeck's had a few dodgy scores, and yeah, I don't know. Like Adiemi's smash. Like Brandt is the one. Like Brandt's been doing really well.
Brandt's been the one for ages, man. I've always been a big fan of Brandt.
Yeah, he really has.
He was great for IPDs, Julian Brandt. He was an absolute hero at Leverkusen.
He was unbelievable. He was literally like Havertz and Wirtz, basically, before their time.
Aye, Brandt's the man. It's funny because after like Celtic get stuffed off of Dortmund, there's so many people, especially Celtic fans, like, oh, how's this Julian Brandt never made it to the Premier League and all that? It's like, look at him. Like, he's not an athlete. Like, he's not. He wouldn't survive in the Prem. You know, he's brilliant in that, but like, it would be an uphill climb for him to adapt. I'm sure he could do it. You know,
he wouldn't be playing for us. Like, yeah,
I'm not writing him off, but like, it's not a foregone conclusion he would do great in the Prem.
There's a reason why nobody's bought him. He's like 28. Do you know what I mean? That tells you all you need to know, basically.
Yeah. But yeah, he's the part. Yeah, that's maybe a bit more what I was expecting to see with Gross. That's not that bad of a multiplier. So like you're selling like your in season. Who was the example? Lo Celso.
Lo Celso. Yeah.
For 300 quid, you then buy a classic for 100, and then you get this in season Brandt.
Yeah.
You know, you do something like, you know, where you're getting, and then Brandt could go up again, and you could do the same thing. You know,
yeah, but like, how much is Brandt going up is my issue. Not issue, but you know what I mean. The more pricey a card is, the less of like a ceiling it has. In that, like, as a percentage, it's lower. It might like you'd be happy if he doubled. Like 400 quid's amazing, right? It's 100, 100% profit. But like that is like for me is ceiling. Like for these in-season cards, like there's more chance of even though it's a way bigger multiple, not more chance, but like we see Lo Celso go from 20 quid to 250 quid. I think there's less chance of a Brandt going from like 200 quid to like 500 quid.
Yeah, it's a lot harder. Yeah, I'm with you.
So, yeah.
Because those spikes do come out of like FOMO and people seeing he's cheap and everyone thinking I'll get him cheaper than the next guy, you know. So it goes from 40 to 80, 80 to 150, and then people don't start to kind of catch themselves until it's like, oh, he's 300 quid. Like yesterday was or whatever. Whereas this guy, it's like 190. Everyone knows he's 190 going into it, and then nobody really is going to push it above 250 or something, really, are they?
Exactly. Unless he scored like back to back hundreds, he's 400 quid, right? But like he has to do a lot for that to happen, I think.
Yeah, I'm with you.
That's my only like not issue with it, but that's where I'd be at with that. I'm just doing my training lineups.
I'm just thought I'd have a quick class scan over. I'll have a wee box to open tonight, which will be fun. And yeah, I'm still nervous on Chanot, but I think he's okay, isn't he? Everything else I'm quite happy with, actually. And I did training before coming on today, Harry. I did training beforehand.
You know what? I can never bring myself to do training other than like 10 minutes before. I don't know why. I just don't just struggle to wrap my head around like, I don't know, putting time out to do it. Even though I'm still the same amount of time now, I like doing it on stream.
One thing I'd say as well, if Sorare are watching and listening, is they've done away with the button here where you can hide the lineup. So it's now use last lineup or set lineup. So I don't know how you hide things anymore now. Is it up in this wee thing?
Wow, yeah.
No, it's up here. That's what it is. It's in these wee dots.
Okay.
Okay, ignore me. Sorry, I found.
I mean,
I found the problem.
Tricky to find, though. It's not easy, is it?
Now, Anion is asking, is there even rare auctions going on? Now, Sorare have definitely done something a lot different with their supply this year. It's been quite front-loaded towards early access and getting cards out there for the beginning of the season. I would expect auctions to be like dwindling to a halt. I think you need to do a wee bit of heavy lifting. I don't know if Sorare Data have any tools so we can see like how many auctions Brant has had, etc.
There is a way, yeah. I mean, you just look at how many mints he's got like in season. So at rare, if you go to the top right, Quinny, it's a lot easier. Like, you know where it says just change that from limited to rare, they'll tell you 57. So like they're close.
But you don't know how many are rewards from that, do you?
No, but even on here it's a bit tricky because if they've sold a reward, it doesn't say there's a reward, if that makes sense. So it gets a bit dicey.
Yeah, so we need the SD to get some sort of supply counter on the go here. 57. How many are rewards? How many have been sold or something? Have a wee breakdown for us so you get a bit of a gist for it. But for 57, I tell you what, there's not like 30 rewards given out. It's maybe like 10 or 15. Yeah. You know what I mean? So there's not going to be many more auctions. And the thing I always think with Sorare is they want to have guys available to be sold and rewarded throughout the entire season. So I think you'll probably find there'll be a schedule of like one auction every 3 weeks or one a month or something will probably rest into like a normal pattern that we'll see whenever they've reached that kind of early access supply that they've wanted to dish out. And then, it's probably going to be something like that once a month, once every 3 weeks or something. Or they sell out. It's not out the realms of possibility at this stage either that they want to sell out. They've also still have rewards, but you know.
Right. I think that's the goal, I think, really, isn't it? To sell out pretty early and then, you know, the secondary market then is alleviated with a bit of pressure or less pressure to where their 5% that they're making are just more of more fiat because on paper, you'd like to think the cards are going for, a little bit more. It could be, not right in practice, but it's got to be the thought process, I think.
Charlie says we could go into the graph and count all the dots.
You could if you didn't have anything. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. We could there's actually maybe something with the graph. Oh yeah, you are counting dots. You can kind of have them all on page here. So this is all of them. I think 6 months. No, we don't want to go back 6 months. 3 months will do, won't it? And that's old season. Yeah. I'm not counting that, sorry. You only need to count the blue ones anyway, because the secondary market ones or whatever. But yeah, if anyone wants to count it, feel free in the live chat. Don't recommend it. But yeah, I wouldn't rule out them selling out, but I do also think that they've kind of said the thing before where they don't want, if somebody signs up in March and they want to buy Mbappe, of course the secondary market will always be there for them, but like
Yeah.
They want to sell you an Mbappe in March as well. Like they want to
Right. Yeah.
still have that as a possibility.
And it benefits everyone. You get more games out of him, and they get a higher price.
Yeah.
Like it works for both ways, I think.
You got your teams all ported over now as well, Harry boy. We're 3 minutes to go to the deadline.
Yeah, they're all in. I've got my training in. I'm just doing a quick little scan to see if I've missed any latest news, but I think we're good. There's nothing crazy going out, I don't think.
I think they'll want to sell out, says Charlie. Look out MLS prices are. Yeah.
Definitely.
Only €50 base rare on auction. Oh, in terms of who's on auctions now, there's only like random guys. There's no stars.
Right.
Is that what you're saying? No, I see guys that are all right. Depends what region we're talking, obviously. Chesney's got Barca cards all of a sudden.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been quick to get them in, haven't they? Which is
rapid.
Clever. Yeah.
Number 2, Morrison Aguimang. Always catches my eye, low serial number at this stage.
I have noticed though a lot of the crafts I've been winning are like new cards, if that makes sense, as in like low mints, like they've been recently updated type of thing. It does feel like I've been winning far too many of them, like the new names type of guys.
Yeah, new faces and all that.
Yeah,
I've not been doing too much, but I kind of came to a realization where I'm probably going to do what the Penfez does with his boxes and stuff like that. I'm probably going to do that with my rare essence going forward, because I'm getting it from all different regions. I crafted it at tier 3 this week, and I got a goalkeeper, which was fine.
Yeah,
in champ, no less.
Lassonel, wasn't it?
Yeah, but when I seen him doing that not long ago, I thought that's probably the way to go. And then when I've seen how long it's taken me to get to tier 3, I'm thinking I'm probably just going to do it that way going forward.
Yeah.
I'll keep the super rare for the longest time. I really want that to get to something really high. But
it's interesting because like at super, if I hadn't have done the 20 essence pull on Zanka, I wouldn't have won that composition, you know. So it's like for me, I just want to get out as many. Where's he to there? Crafted 24 days ago. And like this is a tier 4. I know there's a few dodgy scores in there, but like there's some big peaks in there as well. So as much as people want like the higher super rares, which I get, but like we've seen, you know, even higher tiered super rares aren't great either. So it's like, you know what I'm saying, as like a McBride knows and whatever. And I got stung with that Dean Houston or wherever he, you know, there is like, how is he a tier? I know he's younger, but like he's a tier 2 and Zanka's like a tier 4 or 5. It's just like, you know, where's the consistency? I know there's, you know, other underlying things, but yeah, it's just tough, isn't it? A super, really tough.
Big time. Crazy having 6 lineups now. Is that for training? Everyone's got 6 training lineups officially now.
Oh, is it? Oh, I think I only put 5 in. No. I'm not used to putting 6 in. I've only ever done 5.
I've always had 6, so it's just no different to me. I was gutted I never got the 7th one, but with how stagnant they've been with coins. And I guess on that note, Harry boy, have you been spending your coins? You've only got 350 left. What did you spend yours on?
I only had 3,000 before that. Like I bought a couple of raffles to win a hoodie. I didn't have much going on, mate. To be honest, I think I must have bought a load of boosts a while ago, maybe. I only ever used 5 training lineups. I would have bought 2 of the expansions, maybe. It would have definitely been a couple of super rare boosts before you could win them in boxes. I think I was probably spending on those.
Fair enough. I only had like a couple of thousand as well. I just got some raffle tickets for signed jerseys and stuff, and I couldn't even afford one boost, so I must have had like 5,000 or something. I'm not going to buy a limited boost, obviously. So yeah, but we're in the deadline, Harry. We made it. I thought this was going to be a short show. I thought we were going to be done at 2:30 or something, and then the deadline's here.
We filled it, mate. We filled it well. Laird was curious how we were going to fill the show at the start of the 2 hours, but I mean, I think we've done a half decent job, to be fair, considering there wasn't a ton of stuff going on. I've actually enjoyed it, to be honest. I probably enjoyed it more than like rushing through a billion teams and leagues, you know.
It was a bit more chill, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And
much better.
it was a great company as always. The Sorare scouts and managers around the world jumping into the live
Yeah.
chat. There's been a bunch of here today. Me and Harry, thank you both, of course, or we both thank you all for coming and tuning in. If you haven't already, of course, you'll find Harry's his channels linked in the description down below. And yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back for this show next week, certainly, and on Harry's channel. I'm sure there's new videos up every day for the next couple. I watched one before coming on. It was the Kimmich video. I kind of also
Nice.
I'd seen that stuff through the week, but yeah, Kimmich video was out this morning, so feel free to check that out. I'll have Zero to Hero out maybe later today, maybe tomorrow. And yeah, good luck this international break, everyone.
Yeah, all the best, lads. Up the Welsh tonight.
Or won the Iceland, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, have a good one.